Hello again. Welcome back to the Freemasonry Report. My name is Ed Pisani Jr., and I'm a past master in the beautiful Grand Lodge of Florida. I'm here today to talk to you about a subject that I find very interesting and a question that comes up a lot and I love to answer. And that question is, do Freemasons elect their top leadership? And the answer is 100% yes. Yes, we do. We always elect our top leadership from the Grand Lodge to the Blue Lodge. We elect people. Now, that's not to be said that every officer in the lodge is elected, because that is not true. Just the top leadership is elected. And let me just share with you who the top leadership is in a Blue Lodge, and then I'll share with you in the Grand Lodge. Now, keep in mind, my Grand Lodge is the state of Florida Grand Lodge, which is Grand Lodge of Florida. And that's not the same as every other Grand Lodge around the world. So you may want to just double check to make sure if they have a special position, because I've noticed that there is some interesting positions for some of the appointed officers in different states around the United States, and I just probably will share that in a different video. But for right now, I just want to talk to you about the elected positions of the top leadership of our fraternity. So let's start with the very basic. The top leader in the Blue Lodge is called the Worshipful Master. He's equivalent to the president of a civic organizations like the Rotary Club. He's a top officer. The one fundamental difference between a Worshipful Master and a president of a club is the Worshipful Master is installed for one full year. And if something were to happen to the Worshipful Master, the vice president or the wardens would step in, but he would always be the worshipful master for that year, which is kind of cool until the new election happens and new officers are selected. The top leader of the state or the Grand Lodge, because some Grand Lodges make up different areas, is called the most worshipful Grand Master. Now, he is in charge of everything and he has final say on everything. The worshipful master is in charge of his Blue Lodge, but the most worshipful Grand Master, which is elected by all the officers and representatives from his Grand Lodge, is in charge of everything. He can put out orders and edicts. He can sort of set the tone. He runs the meeting. He's in charge of the meeting. He's like the chairman of the board of the Freemasons of that Grand Lodge for that given year. Now, how long does a top leader serve for? It is generally 12 months. And that's how it goes. But I know in some Grand Lodges that's not the case. Like in the Bahamas, it's actually much longer. They serve for more than 12 months. And there's different requirements before you can actually be an elected leader in the lodges, in different Grand Lodges. So you need to actually go to your local Grand Lodge and ask those questions because they'll have those specific answers. So who are the other people that are elected? Well, that's really simple. You have wardens, the senior and junior warden, treasurer, and secretary. This obviously, the secretary is very straightforward. They take minutes of all the happenings inside of the meeting. The treasurer takes care of the finances, like very similar to what's in a Rotary Club or what's in a Chamber of Commerce or wherever you may have a civic organization. The wardens are equivalent to being vice presidents. They help make sure the fraternity is running correctly. They are elected people that help make things happen. They have specific job functions, and each Blue Lodge has wardens. It has a secretary and treasurer. With that being said, how does it equate to the Grand Lodge? Well, the Grand Lodge actually has a couple different things than the actual Blue Lodge has. So they have the most worshipful Grand Master, which is in charge of the state. They have a deputy Grand Master, which is the number 2 person in the state. And then they have their wardens. They have a senior Grand Warden and a junior Grand Warden. And then they have a Grand Secretary and a Grand Treasurer. You go to any Grand Lodge website, you should see that. Some of them are a little bit more secretive. They don't want to share that information for whatever reason. But 99% of the time you'll find it on that Grand Lodge website for your given state or country. So, okay, now we talked about who is electable in top leadership. What I really needed to cover is who is not elected. And when you have someone that's not elected, they're generally appointed. And either the worshipful master of the Blue Lodge is appointing them, or the most worshipful Grand Master of the Grand Lodge is appointing them. So I'm going to do the Blue Lodge first. There is a lot of individuals that are appointed. So we're going to go through that. You got a senior and junior deacon appointed, senior and junior steward appointed, Tyler, musician, chaplain, treasurer, all appointed. Marshal is appointed. Now, in some lodges, they have different titles, so I could have not said one, or you might have said one and be like, well, we don't call him that, or we call him this. Each Grand Lodge is different, and each set of bylaws is for that jurisdiction. So keep in mind, I'm just talking about the state of Florida. I'm not talking about the United States of America. Now let's jump to the Grand Lodge. The Grand Lodge also has appointed positions. My favorite appointed position, obviously, is a district deputy Grand Master. The most virtual Grand Master has the luxury of picking his district deputies to run the different districts that make up areas of Blue Lodges. So they are in charge of that area. They are the final say, and they report directly to the most versatile Grand Master. Really cool position to have and to hold. I'm not a district deputy Grand Master. I'm just a simple past master, which means I am been elected virtual master of a lodge. So with that being said, the other appointed positions in the Grand Lodge are the Grand Tyler, the Grand Chaplain, the Grand Pursuivant, Grand Standard Bearer, Sword Bearer. Both of those have grands in front of it. The Grand Chaplain, the Grand Senior Deacon, the Grand Junior Deacon, and there's probably a few others I just can't think of. The Grand Musician is one of them, but they have very specific roles. And some Grand Lodges actually have something really cool. Like if you were to look at the Grand Lodge of Alabama, they have a Deputy Grand Tyler. Where in the state of Florida, we just have Grand Tyler. So there is those minor differences. And it's kind of fun when I'm researching for the Freemasonry Report to find these little nuances that are different and how they have the different roles and what they do or don't have on the Grand Lodge level. Is kind of really, really nice to see. I'm not going to get into all the job functions because I could be here all night and all afternoon and all morning going and going and going, explaining all the little nuances of each role. But that's like very high altitude and answers the question, do we elect our leaders? Yes, we do. And those people that are elected leaders do appoint people that are brothers in the fraternity. Anyone that is elected, a officer or appointed officer has to be a Master Mason, unless otherwise stated by the Grand Master of the state of Florida. BC's in charge of the Grand Lodge, and he's the man. Everyone reports to him. So if he wants to do something different, it's his prerogative to do so. With that being said, I hope this answered some questions. This is the FreemasonryReport.com. We are answering a lot of cool questions. I hope this has helped you a bit. And I try to really come back the answer for you so you can get the answer you needed. If you like this, share it with people because, there's people out there that may be interested in becoming a Freemason. There may be Master Masons out there that are like, I don't really know how to answer this question well. They can share this with their uncle, their grandfather, their son, their nephew, their dad, their granddad, whoever. If they're a granddad, they can send it to the grandson, and they can give them really good answers and not feel like, okay, well, I'm misspeaking. I've done research on this, and I probably do more research. I may actually do another video about this when I find out some more information that's useful because there's so many Grand Lodges around the world and how they do things and so many little interesting things that they try to do. You may see another video going further into this, or you may not. Again, I have an obligation to fulfill to keep the secrets of Freemasonry fully secret. So with that being said, that's all I can share with you about this topic. Stay tuned. Check out the FreemasonryReport.com. Read the plot article tied to this and learn even more about Freemasonry. Make it a great day, guys, and stay blessed.